Working hand in hand with industrialization is a call for human capital development.
The smartest countries in the world today develop human capital and are knowledge-based. I think this is where Nigeria should be going. And I'm going to say this, anything short of that is a non-starter. And don't forget that part of the assets of this country are Nigerians in the diaspora. A good number of them really want to come back. If there are certain assurances, I don't want to say guarantees, if there are certain assurances, and what do these people really want? Let's ask ourselves. They're not asking you for 4 houses in London and 4 yachts. No, they just want a decent living. They just want to be respected. They just want to be guaranteed of safety, and they are ready to come.
Answering the call to build human capital from the primary level is what the federal government attempts with the feeding program, one of the campaign promises of a government. With a promise that about 93 billion naira has been set aside in the budget for the program, the federal government says it plans to feed 5.5 million children for 200 school days in the first phase of the program, and this will be in collaboration with state governments.
A lot of people will find it difficult to understand why we have chosen to do this part at a time like this when the economy is nosediving. We have chosen to do this part because we feel indebted to our children. There are children that have not had something to eat in hours, perhaps in many days. It is because our thought has gone out to these children that we decided to bridge this gap. And this strategy speaks to the sustainability of this program. For those who are worried and bothered about its sustainability, I tell you to bother no more, because I will transfer the program to you. The burden of sustaining this program will rest on the shoulders of every family in Abia, so that at all times when you offer 2 or 3 eggs to your child and pack 2 more for the child to go to school with, you remember that there are children that are looking for just one.
It marks the beginning of a different phase of the Kaduna State Government's project to expand access to education. We launched the program today as a direct intervention in the health of our children, situating our schools as places to promote education and nutrition. Every school day from today, inshallah, the Kaduna State Government will be providing a meal for 1.5 million pupils.
However, some states are skeptical about the program. One of such is Ondo State Government.
It's a good program. My fear is this. When they decided to do this program, were the states taking into consideration? Was there any platform, a meeting point, where the states and federal discuss this issue? Those are the things I look at. Now, suddenly I was reading the papers, they were saying 40% catapult funding from the states. Then I asked a question. The UBEC-SUBEC partnership between federal and state, how many states have been able to access it? Because the 50% catapult funding must come from the states. How many states have defaulted? How many states have benefited? Those are the issues. In the last 3 years, it's becoming so difficult for states to even provide their catapult funding. Of recent, there were even statements credited to either the Honorable Minister or Federal Government representative, shifting grants a bit to make it 10% participation. So those are the issues. Are you sure the states will be able to key into it when you now ask for 40%? When states cannot even afford to pay salaries of their workers. So I can see some danger on the line. But it's a good program. But I think the federal government should discuss more with the states and see how it can go.
Other attempts by the federal government to change the economic trend of Nigeria is in the 2016 budget, which has been tagged a budget of change because it has 30% capital expenditure, which is about 1.8 trillion naira, higher than allocation in recent times. Still in the budget, 500 billion naira intervention fund, an amount which the government has said would be spent on improving the well-being of the poorest in the country. There's also been the use of monetary policy to stabilize pressure and the value of naira, the latest being the flexible Forex policy.
The market shall operate as a single market structure through the interbank and autonomous window. 2. The exchange rate will be purely market-driven using the Thomson Reuters and FMDQ order matching system as well as the conventional dealing book. 3. The CBN will participate in the market through periodic interventions to either buy or sell foreign exchange as the need arises. 4. To improve the dynamics of the market, we will introduce FX primary dealers who would be registered by the CBN to deal directly with the bank for large trade sizes on a two-way quote basis.
Foreign investors are watching to see the implementation of policies and effect on investment environment. But before they make their decision, Nigerians are asked to make the most of the windows for businesses and investment in the country. That's it for this episode of Big Story. I'm Amy Thompson.